Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about the latest on the Evergrande saga and the Chinese housing market. So news came out today that the deal between Evergrande and Hopson Development Holdings to sell their property management company has fallen through. Evergrande was going to sell 50.1% for about 2.6 billion to Hopson, and that money would have went a long way to helping pay off all of their bonds that they have coming due. Now, Evergrande said that Hopson did not meet the prerequisite to make a general offer, whatever that means. Other news is reporting that the Guangdong provincial government, which is overseeing the restructuring of Evergrande, has not approved the deal yet. So maybe it is not dead, it is just delayed. And it's also been reported that some international creditors were against the deal because companies who sell off assets right before they collapse, the creditors have a hard time clawing back some of that money. So because this deal has fallen through, Evergrande and Hopson have requested that their stocks become unhalted and start trading again on Thursday. So that should be interesting to see where Evergrande stock opens up when it does begin trading. Now, on top of that, the payment that Evergrande missed on September 23rd had a 30-day grace period, which is already in 3 days going to be up. So in 3 days, they will be officially defaulted on that bond payment. And a smaller developer, Cynic, had its rating cut to selected default after it defaulted on a $246 million bond payment. Now, although Evergrande is having trouble paying their international dollar bonds, they seem to have not much of a problem paying their onshore bonds as they found the money to pay a $19 million coupon just recently of their onshore bond. So just a reminder, Evergrande has about $300 billion in outstanding debt, and the property market in China itself has about $5 trillion in debt. Now, as long as the property market itself is doing well in China, some of these problems may work themselves out with a little help from the government and rolling over some loans and things like that. However, the news in China about the housing market just got a lot worse. So not only has the sales volume plummeted in September, but now the actual price of the homes being sold is also falling. So let's take a look at that news that just came out today. So Bloomberg is saying that the latest data is showing that home prices are actually falling now in China, the first time since 2015. Now, although the sales volume in September dropped a whole lot, the actual prices dropping has not been huge. It's a 0.08% drop across home prices in 70 cities in September. However, homebuyer sentiment is evaporating as a crisis at China Evergrande Group ripples through the industry, with prospective buyers already wondering whether cash-strapped builders can deliver their apartments. The risk is that they stay away in droves on fear that real estate is no longer a safe bet. Now, this is the percent month-on-month annualized of home prices in China. The dark green line is the 7-city average, and the dotted line here is Tier 1 cities. That's the biggest cities, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. So you see prices did fall around 2015, but the 70-city average has not fallen below zero until now. And the Tier 4 average is down about 7%, which is a big amount. So they say now the priority is to prevent a state of panic. The home market has clearly entered a downward cycle. And they say developers are struggling with regulatory tightening. That means the 3 red lines that they cannot cross. And that has helped to choke off fresh financing and made it harder to pay bills. Evergrande alone owes more than $300 billion and has yet to finish homes for 1.6 million buyers who put down deposits. So when the housing market is going up all the time, people are very confident in their purchases. But if that turns around, the confidence goes away very quickly, and it takes a long time to get that back. And so it says the drop in confidence has affected people like Carl, a property investment consultant. He says the number of prospective clients tumbled around 90% last month from the second quarter. Business is so light. One customer became less and less interested each time we called him, and later on, he wouldn't even pick up our calls. And so the real estate downturn, which is about a third of China's GDP, is hurting its economy, which is also being dragged down by power shortages. And so economic growth slowed in the third quarter as the property and construction industries contracted for the first time since the start of the pandemic. And residential sales are down 17% in September, which is traditionally peak season for the home market. About three-quarters of cities saw secondhand home values fall from a month earlier. A price war is set to intensify in the coming months as landlords in wait-and-see mode surrender to the cooling trend. And look at this number. Existing home sales plunged 63% from a year earlier in the first 17 days of October, according to Nomura Holdings. The effects of developers' price discounts are waning. Now, some people are a little more positive. Some analysts expect that the current real estate slump to be less harsh than previous ones because inventories remain relatively small, and developers have been more rational about building projects in coastal cities where demand is higher. And the relatively low stock of unsold housing limits the risk of a major downturn. Low stock? Low stock, I've seen articles that say that there are 90 million empty units in China. Still, any recovery will be difficult until home values resume rising. And this sums up human behavior in a nutshell, whether it is the stock market, home prices, Bitcoin, whatever. If property prices stop growing, we won't buy, said Jack, a tech worker in Shenzhen, who didn't want to be identified by his surname for fear of reprisals from his company. Right now, I'll sit and watch. So guys, that's what's going on at Evergrande and in China. The deal that would have given them a whole bunch of cash as a lifeline to help them out of this situation has fallen through. Their stock is going to begin trading again probably tomorrow on Thursday. And their 30-day grace period is about to be up in 3 days. So a lot of things are going to be happening with Evergrande soon. On top of that, home prices are falling in China, which is making people stop buying or slow down their purchase or sit and wait. So this combination together is going to be bad for Evergrande for sure, and probably not so good for the Chinese economy as well. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.